Hi everybody. I decided to do an update on my YouTube channel. I haven't been up there for a while. And there's been a lot of changes that have gone on. Joe and I split up like 2 years ago. And I lived in Dunseith for a year, and I decided to move me and Chelsea. I have full custody of her now. I decided to move me and Chelsea down here to Bismarck, Mandan. We've been down here a year, and oh my God, it's been amazing. She's been doing very, very well. In school, she went to school here in Mandan last year, and she got all A's and B's and C's. She gets occupational therapy 1 day a week now. It was 2 days a week, as well as physical therapy 1 day a week. That changed. She's getting ready to get kicked out of OT because she's grown so much. When we moved down here, her stat scores were less than 7 years old. And we've been here a year, and they're 10 years old now. As far as respite care goes, she's doing amazing. She has a great group of girls that work with her. Raina, Poppy, it's called Poppy's Promise. And or she's the director. And there for a while, we didn't have anybody except one girl that would come 1 day a week. And Raina come out and spent 1 day a week, if not 2 days a week, with Chelsea, so that they made sure that she got hours. And now we have a new girl that's working with us. Her name is Chantel, and she's kind of a different soul, and it's taken me a lot to get used to her because she is like so outgoing and happy, but Chelsea really loves her. Chelsea's been volunteering at the Humane Society 2 days a week. So last year for Christmas, instead of sending her daddy and her father their Christmas presents, because they haven't even talked to her, haven't sent her a letter, haven't sent her a phone call, nothing. She decided that she was going to take their gift cards and donate them to the Humane Society, and she did $60 worth. I will have you know. And she got quite attached to this cat named Tada. And this kitty had a fractured pelvis and was paralyzed from the waist down. And she had to be put down in the last couple of months. And that devastated Chelsea. She couldn't handle that, because that was her favoriteest one out of all of them. But yeah, she volunteers out there 2 days a week. She's a kitty cuddler. She goes out there and cuddles the kitties. And they're gonna start working her into being able to walk dogs a little bit. So I'm glad for that. She's made 4 friends here in school. We went to orientation the other night, and she's running down the hallway in this middle school building with well over 1,000 people up in it. And she's screaming, "Buddy!" at the top of her lungs and hugging anybody that would hug her. I didn't know whether I should be sad or I should be really, really happy, but it made me cry. And today was our first day of school. And I took her to school, and I cried all the way taking her to school, because she's grown so much. I get lots of alone time, and she even lets me go out, and she's okay being home by herself for about 4 hours now. She can spend home alone, and she doesn't mind. She tells me to get out. She chases me out of the house. So she lets me go out on Tuesday nights, or either Tuesday nights or Thursday nights. I go play Dungeons and Dragons with some people and go out with my girlfriends and whatever, you know. And I don't go sit on the bar stool and act stupid. I don't do that, but I drink at home once in a while. I've quit smoking. I don't smoke anymore. I'm getting ready to go under the knife again on September 12th. As if you were close to me, then you know that back in November of 2011, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in both sides of my breasts, and I had to have a double mastectomy. And I spent until October of 2017 flat with nothing, flat chested. And I decided that I wanted reconstructive surgery. And I had my first surgery October 25th of 2017. And they placed what they call skin expanders up underneath my pectoral muscles on my chest to stretch and make a pocket so they can put implants up underneath my muscles. And I'll show you. And they put 575 cc's of fluid into these expanders. And then they let that set for like 4 weeks. My last fill was like the middle of January, and I had surgery February 28th of 2018. 6 years to the day that I lost my breasts. So that was kind of a bittersweet anniversary. It was an amazing anniversary, to tell you the truth. And then he recommended, once we put the implant in, he recommended that we let them set for at least 6 months to kind of settle into place where they're going to be. And then I'm getting ready to have surgery September 12th of 2018. And we are going to do a revision. And he is going to make me new nipples and, you know, the colored part around them. He's going to make me new nipples. And he's going to take some extra skin off because I've lost quite a lot of weight. And I have skin hanging. And it looks horrible. So he's going to take that off for me. And he's teasing me and telling me he's going to take my tummy off. So I guess if I wake up from having surgery on my boobs and the extra skin on my tummy's gone, it's just a bonus. So without further ado, I will show you what I had done. I have to move this a little bit. Okay. If you were close to me and you've seen my bare chest, then you would know. These are what we call dog ears. See, this is all extra skin. And he's going to take all of that off. And this incision, instead of being right here where he placed the implant, see, I can move the implant. That's the implant right here. So he's going to take all this off. This incision is going to go right back up underneath here where my mastectomy was. And he is going to take off all of this skin. And it'll tighten it up. You can see, yeah, you can see what it looks like. I didn't make myself really, really big chested. I didn't want to be because I lost all of this weight and my boobs would stick out to here. And we only put in enough saline until I let him put in as much saline as he could. I was going to go like 600 or 650 even. And the muscle right here in the middle of my chest started to pull away and tear. And it's taken, you can see where the skin is. It's taken a while for that to heal because I was puffed out even more. It took a while for that to heal. And he was talking about having to go in and stitch my muscle back to my sternum. And this side is the same way. He's going to take off all of this extra skin he's taking off. And that's the implant itself. And it's up underneath my pectoral muscle. So where the bottom of my breast, right where they sit right now, is where they will sit until the implant has to be replaced in about 20 years. So I'm pushing 40 years old, and my boobs will never sag. They'll always look like this. So he's going to, when he makes me a new nipple, he said that he was gonna bring this up and kind of stretch my skin back a little bit, and he was gonna put my nipple like right here. He said he would probably take the end of the blade and he would take this first leaf, and that's where my nipple would be. And the same with this side, it would be right around in here. And he said that he was going to make my nipple itself, when he sews it on there, sews the skin on there, he said he was going to make it to be about the size of a nickel, because these were 40D sports bras when I had my prosthetics, and this sports bra don't even fit me anymore. It's too small. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but the doc said that he was gonna make my nipples the size of a nickel, and he said over time when they heal, and he said it'd probably take 6 or 8 months for them to heal, he said that it'll shrivel up and it'll look like an actual nipple. It won't look deformed or anything like that. And after after it's all done, you know damn well I'm getting that shit pierced. I did it before. I don't have no feeling this time. You can bet your ass I'm gonna do it again, just because I can. We still have Smokey and Ducky. Smokey Moke and the Ducky Doo. Ducky's really, really awesome about not being afraid of anything anymore. He doesn't run and hide. We live in a big 2-bedroom condo, and it has an attached garage, and dishwasher, central heat, central air. I don't have to mow the yard because it's already done for me. Underground sprinklers, I don't have to water my lawn. And it's pretty quiet here. I'm surrounded by people that are in their 50s, I think. And everybody pretty much minds their business. I don't have to lock myself in my house at night, and I don't have to worry about getting robbed because that's not the kind of neighborhood I live in. The condos around me go for upwards of $110,000. Mine's worth probably that. I sold my Buick Rendezvous, my 2004 Buick Rendezvous. I bought it for $950, and I turned around and sold it for $2,200, and I found me a dark blue 2006 Saturn Ion 2 with a 3.4, and no, a 2.4. Sorry, a 2.4. And I get 32 miles to the gallon with it. It doesn't exactly look the greatest, but I don't even care. And I might live in North Dakota, but I live in the freaking city. If I need 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive anything, I have no business going anywhere, and I don't care to. As far as my job, I work for an amazing lady at Treasures of the Sea and Earth. It is a shop that has beads and seashells and all kinds of stuff. And I make $300 a day. And then I also substitute teach for Mandan Public Schools. So I'm a substitute para too. I do para. It's quite interesting. Ducky, what are you chasing? What are you creeping up on? His tail's twitching. Uh-oh, something's gonna go flying. That's just how he is. Smoke is still the king of the castle, and he has a girlfriend next door. She is a patchy calico. She's really, really pretty. He has a girlfriend. Duck, not so much. Smoke likes to be out on his leash. He walks on a leash like a dog would. And he gets to go outside once a day, once every other day, depending upon what we got going on. And he seems to really like it here. He's up in the window. Them two little shits, I just moved in here. And my bed was up against the window. And they were sitting in the window above my head. And all of a sudden I heard one of them hiss and slap the window. And I said, "Get the hell out of the window." And I chased them out. Well, I had the air conditioner. I had central air on. And all of a sudden I smelled a skunk. And I'm like, who the fuck is smoking pot outside my window? And I put my clothes on and went out to investigate. And I rounded the corner right where my bedroom window was, and there was a fucking skunk standing there. I said, "Nope, not today, motherfucker," and turned around and went running back in the house. And this was like at 1 o'clock in the morning. My neighbor guy across the cul-de-sac, he's sitting outside on his porch smoking a cigarette, just laughing at me. Moving down here with the U-Haul, that was an experience. I had never drove a 20-foot U-Haul before in my life. I never drove a U-Haul truck, period. But I drove that 20-foot U-Haul down here. I got turned around. I got lost looking for my house, of course. I got lost. Made a wrong turn on the wrong side of town. And I went to turn around, and I backed the U-Haul into 4 mailboxes and bent them over backwards. It was great. Chelsea's like, "Mom, I can't believe you done that." I said, "Shut up, don't say nothing, let's go." It was good stuff. And then I backed the U-Haul up in front of my garage door so I can unload everything into my garage. And I put a dent in the eave right up above the garage. I ran into it. That was a big truck. I had never done that before. And I'm amazed. All I did was mow over four mailboxes and put a dent in the eave up above my garage. It was funny stuff. But I love it here. I'm so happy here. I think you could probably see the fire in my eyes or something. And Chelsea's happy here too. I think I want to stay here a little bit longer. I'm getting ready after I have this surgery in September. Then in November, I'm going to have another one on my stomach. And we're going to do a gastric sleeve. And I'm down to 200 pounds right now. So that's gonna take me, with the gastric sleeve, within 9 months, I'll weigh about 120 pounds. I was supposed to take off my weight really, really quick. I've been seeing a dietitian and all kinds of doctors and stuff. And they upped my protein intake from 30 grams of protein a day to 100. So I do 4 protein shakes a day. I drink 96 ounces of water a day. And then I go to the gym. Thank God for Anytime Fitness. I can go to the gym at 2 o'clock in the morning if I want to. I don't, but I could. The lady's name is Janelle, and she's pretty amazing. And I have a personal trainer. His name is Carl, and he's really, really nice. His girlfriend's kind of cute. It's been good stuff since we've been here. So, just kind of wanted to update things. I permed my hair. My hair's actually growed out, and I love it. I think I'm gonna let it grow to my shoulders, maybe. Lots of changes. I met an interesting man that he lights my fire. It's kind of strange, in a strange way. I was looking at videos tonight that I had put up here, God, 10 years ago, almost. And ran across a picture of Chelsea when she was like 7 years old. And she was shooting her BB gun with her daddy. And you know, people tell me things. And I'm having a hard time believing what I'm being told. Because the things that they're telling me is not the person that I knew and that my daughter calls daddy. And the man that I lived with for 10 years and that I still love to this day. And I'm having a really hard time with that. I can't, it's not computing in my brain. I don't know who that is, but whoever that is not my Joe. But, you know, people change. I have. More than you'll ever know. I have. But anyhow, oh yeah. And Doc said after I get this gastric sleeve done that drinking 1 ounce of wine is equivalent to an 8-ounce glass. Now, I've never been more a person to drink more than a couple anyway, especially in the last 5 years. You know, I might drink 3 beers in one night, or 3 twisted teas, or, you know, something like that in one night. But like a 6-pack or something like that, that's not me. But this doctor told me if I were to drink an ounce of wine, I would be so intoxicated that I would not be able to function. I would definitely not even be able to consider driving, because it would be like I was annihilated. And I can't fathom that. But he said that once they take off part of my stomach, then my body will absorb alcohol differently. And I had to quit smoking because after this surgery, my body will absorb nicotine differently too. And that's okay. Medically, since I've been here, I'm no longer on any kind of insulin whatsoever anymore. My A1Cs have been amazing. My blood pressure's been amazing. I'm not on blood pressure pills. The only thing I'm struggling with is my kidneys. But I'm stage 2 kidney disease, the same as I was. I had gotten down to stage 3 for a while, and I picked it up. But I'm not on heart pills anymore. I'm not on insulin anymore. I'm not on antidepressants. I take a Xanax. I have Xanax. I take a Xanax once in a great while. But the doctor told me that I'm going to have to change all of that. Instead of immediate release, it's going to have to be extended release, because my body is going to absorb my medications differently. I don't do antidepressants or nothing like that because I don't need it. And as far as Xanax, it's like if I'm having a bout of insomnia or something like that, I'll take that. Or if I'm having cramps in my stomach or something, then they give me Xanax for that too. That's my anti-stupid society pill. Everybody irritates the fuck out of me, so I take a Xanax and I don't give a shit. It's like that. Went from smoking a pack a day to nothing at all in the last year, which has been pretty amazing. I'm proud of myself. I got to see my mom in May, and there's a very good possibility that I'll go down for Thanksgiving too. I haven't decided yet. Out of the 4 people that were there for me when I had breast cancer, there was my friend Gogsy. He died in August of 2015. My best friend, my world, Charlene Schroeder. She died July 17th of 2015. And then there was Joe, and he's off doing his thing. He's off doing his own thing, and I don't... And then there's Sherry. I call her my Medea. And she was diagnosed in March with cancer, pancreatic cancer. And it spread to her liver and to her spleen and her small intestine and the lower left lobe of her lung. And when I seen her the 1st of July, she had a spot on her brain. And when she was diagnosed in March, they give her 3 to 6 months if she did chemo. Well, they told her June 18th that there was nothing more they could do for her, and they stopped her chemo. And when I talked to her on the phone, it's like I'm talking to somebody that's not there. So, out of the people closest to me, not counting my children, of course, the only one still living is Joe, and I wonder if he's living at all. He's off in his own universe someplace. And it's kind of surreal to me. Sometimes I have a hard time with that. Sometimes I'm okay with it. Just pops in my brain at the weirdest times. Like I was driving down the road the other day and I seen this truck. This old beat up truck with this old guy driving it. It was a farm truck and you could just tell. And it had like historic plates on it. And it said 454. And I immediately thought of Joe. Because that was his thing. So, I'll update you every now and then. And I think I'm going to start recording videos again. But I'm not sure where I'm going to go with it. I'm thinking about... I'm reading tarot nowadays.